in a panel of Doonesbury, and they went and got the cartoon and did Gary Trudeau's drawing of my father and say, is there a resemblance?
Is there a resemblance?
Well, it's a freaking drawing. It's just silly.
So that's why I wanted more of that weird back and forth dialogue to make it sound absurd. I needed the scene to be more absurd because the use of the monocle magnifying glass and the clip art and the black and white photo is already absurd.
Or at that point, why not have Armando go, it's a drawing?
Yeah, have him kind of reply, I drew that. Or something
and then he could, then you could even go for the racial stereotype that you're trying to evoke so often. It doesn't matter. They all look alike.
They look that would have actually been a nice one. I mean, they do say like father, like son, but I mean, it would have been kind of a little more telling to have that.
Right.
They all look alike.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys caught this, but the scene back and forth ends with a phone ring, and Culp saying, "You do well to cooperate with us." And what's really funny about that, "you do well to cooperate with us," it stood out to me as ADR added in, right?
Okay.
And if you look at that moment, "you'll do," neither of the two agents are talking. Their lips are not moving. It's a total catch. They totally put that in, but they didn't put it as Culp is walking off screen. He's starting to walk away, but they put it in before his mouth was fully off. So when he says "you'll do," nobody's talking. There's no lips moving between either agent,
Right.
Culp or Hoskins. What's interesting is the scene was originally supposed to be Armando saying no. He tries to sound emphatic, but we see the beginnings of terror in his eyes. And then it's supposed to cut to Ape Management Communications Training Center the next day. So they didn't know how to end this scene, and they added a phone ring, and they added Culp turning. They added "you'll do well to cooperate with us," and Armando concluding with "could I please have a glass of water," before cutting to the next scene. They added that in. That wasn't originally in the script.
Well, that's funny
because it looks like it.
When he asked that, I thought he doesn't look sweaty nor panicked enough to be going, "I need some water." And it's almost such an obvious thing for somebody in interrogation to be asking for something. How many cop films have we seen where you want a soda? You want a soda? You want some chips? Yeah, I'll give you something. You tell me what I want to know. It was so badly obvious that I thought the same thing. I thought they don't know what they're doing and how to get out of this.
Yeah, and Dane just had a cut from Armando saying no to the next scene versus the phone ring and the "you'll do well to cooperate with us and could please have a glass of water."
Right.
It looks a little ad-libbed, and of course they added in the "you'll do well to cooperate with us" later on.
Right.
I couldn't tell if the phone was actually added in either, and they're just walking away from Armando.
Probably
they might have added the phone in too, just to kind of give something to turn to.
So then in this moment, we do get the cut to the work in the courtyard, correct?
Yeah, we're in the courtyard now.
So he walks away. "You'll do well. Could I get really, really long? Could I get a glass of water?"
Yeah.
And then what does it cut to? It cuts to, hey, there it is. It cuts to the scene in the courtyard with mostly gorillas and reds with a few chimps here walking around.
Okay. Well,
my first note was, oh, hey, it's the opening credits.
We're starting all over again.
Right.
It's a painting and a painting and a painting.
That's why I usually try to be as dedicated as I can for these minutes. And even though, again, coming home late and doing my notes, I don't have a lot of notes for the next few minutes because it's the same damn thing.
Okay, so we have the sink outside, right?
That'll be in the next minute, basically.
The sink is in the next minute, or we see it briefly.
I think we see it briefly,
but
we don't
really
go to the
pick up
tide of it. Yeah. So okay, so there is a large congregation of gorillas in the center of this courtyard. They're kind of walking around. There seems to be no real organization to it, but there's a sense of them being in groups, or maybe some organization. There is a group of mostly chimpanzees and gorillas mostly chimpanzees and a few gorillas coming up some steps, being allowed security, and they're walking down the up steps of the courtyard. And we see some type of object, looks like a sink from the distance there, and they're coming towards it, and then we kind of cut this minute before going into the next.
I've seen films before where they've used that motif of the training facility and gone to it again and again. But the thing is that you really provide either
new information
or the repetition of here it is again, and this is how horrible it is, and but we don't get that. Even in this moment, I think all of us had that feeling of, really? Here we go again. the only thing I found out of it is that I could actually went, oh, look, there's a pullover mask, and it's not as bad as the first couple of films were, and that's really the only thing I thought.
Well, let's go to. Can we go to the next minute? Because
We can.
because
we gotta sleep and have dinner and all that kind of stuff, but then we'll get to it. Yeah.
I want to bump into the cut they probably should have done.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up so we can get back tomorrow.
All right.
Fine.
All right.
Sean's
Done.
called it, so
Get to work.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready for Tuesday, guys.
everybody have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The Minute of the Apes.